Hello and welcome to Attention Central Texas. I'm your host, Charles Jenkins, and in the studio with me we have Miss TaNeika Moultrie. She's the president of the Killeen Branch NAACP. Hello and welcome to today's show.
Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Let's just jump right into the questions of why you're here, but first tell us a little bit about the Killeen Branch of the NAACP.
The Killeen Branch NAACP was started back in 1970. It occurred because there was an issue with the racially unbalancing of students at Marlboro Elementary School.
Okay.
And so they were actually having to be bused to Belton, and so a group of 7 concerned individuals here in our community came together, some including Mr. Reuben Hatcher, Miss Catherine Hatcher, his wife, who was actually the lone female, Willie Gibson, and several others decided to reach out to the National NAACP, and so they asked them to form a committee, which in turn they actually formed a branch/unit. And so that became about in July 1970. And so we are excited to still be standing here today.
All right. And tell us a little bit about your role and how long have you been a part of the NAACP?
I first started becoming involved with the Killeen Branch NAACP back in 2006.
All right.
I actually was a part of the youth council from Illinois. I was born and raised in Illinois, and so my aunt was actively involved with it. She lived in Chicago, and so we traveled with her to many national conventions. And so when I came to Killeen, I decided that I wanted to be involved with the Killeen Branch. And so I've been a member since 2006.
Okay.
And served as president from 2011 to 2016.
Okay.
I took a break because I had a daughter, had a baby, and so now she's 3 years old. So I decided to come back into the leadership role for the actual branch. But I still have remained active with the NAACP. I have a very strong passion for it. I also serve as a Texas State Conference treasurer as well, and so going into my second term of that. Yes, sir.
Right. Well, I know this next thing excites you. You guys are getting ready to celebrate 110 years. Tell us a little bit about what's going to happen, the celebration. What can the people of Killeen expect?
Okay, so yes, we are very excited that the NAACP is turning 110 years old, and so it is the oldest civil rights organization in the nation, and so we're very excited to be able to celebrate here in the city of Killeen. Our celebration will actually be Friday, February the 8th at Greater Peace Missionary Baptist Church from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
And so we're going to just go back and dive into the history of the NAACP. Some people's perception of the actual organization has, been a little tainted, and they have these myths that it's just for Black people, and it's not. And so they will see how the NAACP actually got started by 4 white liberals. And so we're going to dive into that and just go back to the root of things, and to just, school, as the young people say, school everybody, to let them know how the organization got started and what its ground roots or grassroots were founded on. So.
Will y'all be involved in anything in the legislative branch? Do you have anything coming up for that?
Yes, and so we actually just had our state quarterly meeting. So each state has a quarterly meeting. So we just had our quarterly meeting this past Saturday in Austin. And so we are going to be participating in the legislative session day sponsored by the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. And so that will start February the 23rd, 24th time frame, and it'll run until the 26th. We'll actually be in Austin on that Monday, the February 25th, participating in Legislative Day.
And going back to the 110-year celebration, what can people expect on that day? If they come out to the celebration, what can they expect?
Well, the celebration is free and open to the public.
All right.
And so what they can expect is just to get a little, like I said, bit of the history of the NAACP. We'd also love to have as many people that would like to come join us. We do a lot of great things in the community, and so some people feel like we just focus on civil rights, but we don't. We have 21 standing committees. We deal with health, we deal with education, we deal with economic empowerment, empowerment, we deal with criminal justice, we deal with, we have a Freedom Fund banquet. And so we have a lot of great things that are going on inside the NAACP.
And speaking of the Freedom Fund banquet, just jump right into it and tell us, when is that?
Yes, so we have our 46th annual Freedom Fund banquet that will be Friday, March 22nd from 7, it starts, at 7 p.m. and it'll be at the Killeen Civic and Conference Center. And so we've got a lot of things going on. When the year starts, it's back to back, January, February, March. Just everything is just back to back. And so we have a lot of things going on. So the Freedom Fund banquet, it actually helps us raise funds to be able to function as a branch, as well as most importantly, we recognize our scholarship recipients. So the goal is to give 6 $1,000 scholarships to graduating seniors from KISD and CCISD on that night.
And speaking of that the scholarship fund, I know we talked about a trip that you guys are planning for the kids to get experience to see the museum. Tell us a little bit about that.
So this will be our 3rd annual college tour, and so we take students who would like to go on a college tour. So this year we will be going to Montgomery, Alabama, and Tuskegee as well. So we'll be visiting the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, and then we will be visiting the following colleges: Alabama State University and Tuskegee University. So the students will have the opportunity to go on a college visit. We also try to make it a little bit educational, of course, aside from the actual doing of the college trip. So they will be going to it's referred to as the Lynching Museum. And so it documents those individuals, those African Americans, blacks, who have been lynched since the 1800s up until, the last one. And so we will get the opportunity to go to that museum, and I heard it was very powerful. And so we're excited about having the students go and visit that and tour that actual museum.
I can only imagine.
Yes.
And I know you've done a lot for the NAACP. Tell us, what's it been like being a part of, first of all, being a part of such a historic organization, but what has it done for you as a person?
It has just brought me closer to my actual culture and letting me know that there is still work to be done. Racism, discrimination doesn't have a face or a name to it. And so, as I always tell people, it's crossed color barriers, it's crossed racial divides, it's crossed socioeconomic status. And so you don't have to just be African American to be discriminated against. And so what it's done for me, it's been an eye-opening experience for me, but it's also brought me closer to my culture, and it's allowed me to give a helping hand to those who don't have a voice. Most importantly, I'm so passionate about it because it has been around for so long, the longest, like I said, civil rights organization, and the oldest. And so to even have my 3-year-old daughter be a lifetime member of the NAACP, I want this organization to be around the next 110 years to be able to help her and then her children and their children, and so it's great to have an organization that is a voice for the people who don't have a voice.
And your passion exudes through you, so we definitely can see that.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about being here in the community. How has the community embraced you? And the second part of that question is, how can the community get involved?
Okay, so the community definitely, especially the religious community, has embraced the NAACP. I still believe that, there's a lot of work still to be done. As we say, the struggle is not over. And so we still need to break down those barriers and those misconceptions and perceptions of what the NAACP is and who we stand for. Some people do believe, like I said, that we are an organization just for Black people, and that is not the gist of it. And so definitely want to get that message out to the community to let them know, hey, we're for everyone and we're for all people. And so want to continue to do that, and so that is part of course, what the celebration will be happening for next week.
Okay.
How the community can help us is just be a part of us and be involved with us. You know, of course, we love to have the support of our community, whether it's from the city level, the government level, to the chamber level, to the school district level, you know, and so we want to be able to, we want you to embrace us, and we will definitely embrace you as well, because like I said, they're included in that those standing committees and those outreach efforts that we do touch on in those issues.
Okay, we have about 3 minutes left. Share, just share praise for me about the NAACP as someone who has gotten, basically, someone who's came through your doors who figured out, man, this is awesome. Any feedback as to what they have said about it?
Yes, and so one of the, well, I actually have two, and I can do it within 3 minutes. So we had a group of tenants who were burned out of their apartment in North Killeen, and so the lady, she was white, you know, and she came to us and she was like, I don't have any rent, I don't have any help, I don't know what to do, and so we were able to help her, and she said, I did not know the NAACP helps people. I thought the organization was for black people. And so that was great to hear that we were able to help her and that we changed her perception of what the NAACP was all about. The second thing with the college tour, you know, we have some students who have never been out of the state of Texas, who have never experienced it and don't think that they have the opportunity to go on to higher education. And so for us to have that support for them to be able to plant those seeds of positive growth in them is such truly an experience. You know, we always make them write an essay. So they go on the trip, but they have to let us know they got something out of it. And one of the young ladies, I was sitting in the front of the bus and she texted me and she said, thank you so very much. She said, I've never been out of the state of Texas in the 18 years that I've been alive. And so when you hear those stories and give them that opportunity of hope, you know, it's just truly a blessing. And so we want to continue to do that.
All right. And before we close, share with us that date again of the 110th anniversary.
The NAACP birthday celebration will be Friday, February the 8th at 6 p.m. at Greater Peace Missionary Baptist Church, 4201 Zephyr Road, and everyone is invited. Come help us celebrate.
All right. Ms. Moultrie, I just want to take this time to say thank you for being on the show today, and thank you for what you're doing and making people aware of this historic and awesome organization. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, our viewers, for tuning in to Attention Central Texas.